Red Auerbach was not only a great basketball coach, but his one-loss record in human and civil rights in pro sports is unmatched. Thanks to Red and Celtic owner Walter Brown, the NBA is now the most integrated franchise in professional team sports. I met the late Red and Dottie Auerbach on a Chevy Chase playground in a Maryland suburb of D.C. in the late 60s. They were hanging out watching Summer League basketball. I found Dottie sitting alone in a lawn chair outside the fence watching the action. We struck up a conversation about one of the players and she took it from there. I thought to myself, this little white lady sure knows a lot about the game of basketball. We would talk basketball for the next 30 minutes when suddenly her husband shows up with cold drinks. Her husband was the one and only Red Auerbach. Dottie introduced us, and Red growled something sarcastically, and she said, Arnold, stop acting up. Red had a demeanor of a tiger when he didn't want someone getting too close, but in reality, he was nothing but a pussycat. For the next 30 plus years, Red and Dottie Auerbach would become a fixture and supporter of Kids in Trouble Incorporated and my radio sports talk show, Inside Sports. During that relationship, my wife Hattie and I would visit their home on Mass Avenue in upper northwest DC. We would often have lunch with Dottie. She would show off her antiques and art collection next door to an adjacent apartment they had also brought. The walls of the next door apartment had been knocked down to accommodate her collection. Red would usually be out playing cards or tennis at Woodmount Country Club in Bethesda, Maryland. Dottie was a classy, down-to-earth lady, and we fell in love with her. We were benefactors of their generosity and kindness. Their spirit lives in us today. In 2001, Red and I went into the studio to record a sports talk show titled Celebrity Sports Calls. Our special guests would include NBA greats Al Adams, Connie Hawkins, Sam Jones, and legendary coach, the late Big House Gaines of Winston-Salem State University. Take a listen to Celebrity Sports Call, and I hope you enjoy.
Auerbach, a living legend, a pioneer, innovator, Mr. Basketball, Mr. Celtic, winningest coach in the NBA, a great individual and my friend. Hello, Red.
Oh, some kind of introduction, and keep it up, I might believe you.
It's all true, Red. We'll be talking to Red Auerbach, but first, a commercial break.
I'm Al Adams, Golden State Warriors. I'm in the Navy Cap. I turned it inside sports with my good friend Auerbach, right here on WINX Radio 1600 on the AM dial.
Inside Sports with Harold Bell, 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, exclusively on Washington's AM only station, 1600 WINX.
Hi, this is Don King of Don King Productions for the undisputed champion of sports talk. You must turn to my man Harold Bell and the original Inside Sports right here on WINX Radio 1600 on your AM dial for the best in sports and sports personalities. Inside Sports and Harold Bell are knockout.
Red, what blacks do you admire most in sports history?
Well, Harold, you know there's so many of them, but I've always had a great deal of admiration for Jackie Robinson. I was at this big affair for Jackie Robinson a couple weeks ago, about a month or so ago, and I had the pleasure of sitting with Jesse Jackson and Ella Fitzgerald and I'll tell you, that was a memorable evening. I'll never forget it. It was super. And we all know, Jackie has done as far as pioneering, but forget all that. He just was such a great athlete. Take Jimmy Brown. Oh, he's the greatest lacrosse player in history, as well as one of the tops, if not the top, fullback that ever played a game of football.
Red, I heard on many occasions they say that Jackie Robinson didn't even play his best sport. Baseball was not his best sport.
No, football, I think, was his best sport. Although he was quite a good basketball player, too. We've had a lot of arguments as to who's the greatest athlete, all-around athlete, of all time. And it's always come back to between Jackie Robinson and Jim Brown. That really has done it, not the potential. But you haven't been all sports, and not only sports. Hell, they're people, and I don't even think of it that way. I think of them as just great people and great athletes. I mean, you take Bill Russell. He's a brilliant guy. He's got a lot of depth. People forget. They know how great he was, but they don't realize that Russell was such a winner. He won 11 championships in 13 years. 11 championships. You talk about winning the close ones and performing in the clutch. I mean, there's a guy that did it.
All right. That was the great Red Auerbach talking about his great player, the great Bill Russell. Talking about black in sports history. And did you hear him saying that when it comes to the greatest all-around athletes of all time, it always comes back to two names, Jackie Robinson and Jim Brown. How about that? Stay tuned. We'll be back with more from Red Auerbach, and Sam Jones will join us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.